can see the copper pots moving through the crowd. I think it's at the last few people. I've had the go-ahead from Elsie Kwandibens, who we just heard from tonight, to get things going, the nod. So I will. First of all, Elsie Kwandibens, thank you very much, miigwech, on behalf of myself and the gallery for that beautiful opening smudge and acknowledgement and message. I'm so glad that you could be here with us tonight. And I'd also like to extend a special welcome to Nadya Kwandibens' relatives, who Elsie mentioned as well, who are sitting right up front here with the artist herself. So thank you very much for for traveling to Thunder Bay tonight to be here with us. It's very special that you're here. So hello and welcome. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. My name is Penelope Smart, the curator here at the Thunder Bay Art Gallery, and I'm so happy to be here tonight with you, and I'm really excited to introduce you to artist Nadya Kwandibens. And before I do anything else, I'd like us all to give Nadya Kwandibens a huge applause for her incredible exhibition that surrounds us in the gallery tonight, the Red Chair Sessions. Nadya, we're so happy to welcome this exhibition from Kenora here to Thunder Bay tonight. So, huge welcome. Yeah, it's very exciting. Congratulations. First, a reminder that Nadya's talk is being recorded tonight and will be posted on the Thunder Bay Art Gallery's YouTube channel, just so everyone has a quick reminder about that. Looking around the room tonight, I'm immediately inspired by the people in these portraits to acknowledge the beautiful place I live and work here as curator in Thunder Bay. A land acknowledgement is especially meaningful tonight, is especially meaningful for tonight's event, as we are surrounded by people who name so powerfully the place and community they call home. There is so much presence in your images, Nadya, the presence of people, presence of spirit, presence of language, presence of land. The Thunder Bay Art Gallery is located on the traditional territory of the Fort William First Nation, signatory to the Robinson-Superior Treaty of 1850. The land is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabeg and the Métis. The gallery and myself recognize these treaties and is dedicated to providing space for Indigenous voices to be heard, and I'm so proud to be part of that. I'm also very honored to be in the position to say thank you to so many people, including the gallery staff who worked really hard to make Nadya's show ready for all of us tonight. We're a close-knit team here at the gallery, and everyone has such an important role to play with the opening of each new exhibitions. But I'd like to name the curatorial staff who gave it all during this installation over the past week. I think most of them are in the crowd tonight as well. Megan Ely, our registrar and curatorial assistant, Caitlin Bird, our curatorial intern, Cynthia No, community engagement coordinator, and always especially our install team, Trish Roy, Damon Dowback, and Damien Rivers-Moore. Thank you. Also, a huge thank you to Canadian Heritage, who provides funds to help us bring touring exhibitions just like this one to Thunder Bay. Okay, not too long now until we hear from the artist herself. A few more gallery-related announcements. I'd like all the artists and makers in this room tonight to please listen closely to this one. I'm sure there are many artists in the room tonight with us. Here at the gallery, our Northern Ontario juried show is happening this winter, and that means we want you to submit your best work by October 31st. For those of you who are new to the Northern Ontario juried exhibition, this is a large-scale exhibition showcasing the very best of art being made around the region by artists and makers. Any type of art is welcome. I'm going to mention needlework, as Elsie Kwandibens did, painting, photography, beadwork, quilling, drawings, video, animations, performance. Any kind of art is welcome for you to apply. And our jurors this year are so exciting. They are artists Anong Beam and Maria Hupfield, which is very, very exciting for us, for them to be a part of the juried show as jurors. The juried show is not only the biggest gathering of contemporary art local to our region, but an incredible opportunity for you as artists and makers to have these acclaimed artists, Anong and Maria, who are artists and curators themselves, to see your work. It's also important in a place like Thunder Bay where artists and creative makers are so often sending your work away and traveling far away from Thunder Bay for a professional opportunity like this to happen right here in town. If you do have any questions about anything I've just said about the Northern Ontario Juried Exhibition and how to submit your work, please do reach out to us at the gallery. And there's also a video that covers step by step the submission process as well. We're nudging ever closer to you, Nadya, to hear more about what it means to take portraits of people, often friends and loved ones, in time and place. How in this series you make connection and belonging visible, among many other things, with something common to all the photos, which is a striking red chair. I want to take a minute here to point out some other beautiful connections that Nadya's show is creating in this gallery at this very moment. While we are welcoming your touring exhibition from Kenora, Kenora is welcoming a touring exhibition from our gallery here in Thunder Bay. Some of you might remember, and others may have heard of, an exhibition called Pitwaywitam, Making His Medicine, curated by Jean and Leanna Marshall, which was an exhibition that took place here at the Thunder Bay Art Gallery, which was celebrated works by the Gustafson family. Their beautiful exhibition will be on tour in Kenora all through this winter. And the connection here, among the sort of switcheroo with the two galleries, is that Nadya's portrait of artist Ryan Gustafson is just behind me, right here. And Ryan and Shannon Gustafson are here tonight as well. So while the show will be in Kenora, Ryan's portrait is here on the wall as part of Nadya's exhibition. So I love that connection. And I believe Ryan is wearing some of the pieces that are in the Pitwaywitam exhibition as well. Another important connection in this room is the artist Shelley Nero, and her portrait is just on that wall over there. You can find it after the show. Shelley Nero, the acclaimed artist Shelley Nero, you walked by her work when you came into the gallery. Shelley Nero's installation is installed in the foyer right when you come in on that blue wall, and it's part of the exhibition curated by Caitlin Bird and Megan Ely called Bamapi, or See You Later. And so we're saying Bamapi, or See You Later, to Shelley Nero's installation Chiquita Bunny Stella before it heads out on tour for a major solo tour for the next few years. So please do say See You Later to Shelley's installation tonight as well. So you can see there's a lot of like moving connections and work on the go here, kind of connected to the exhibition that we're sitting in tonight. And arriving alongside the Red Chair sessions is an exhibition by Canadian painter Margot Williamson that just opened tonight. And Margot has traveled herself many times to Thunder Bay, but like Nadya, this is her first time showing her work here at this gallery. So please do enjoy Margot's exhibition called Interiors, which is paintings and gathered ephemera, which do include, if you read very closely in some of the ephemera, in the two ephemera boxes in the gallery, notes and sort of scribbled text portraits of Thunder Bay and memories from Thunder Bay. So do look for those in that exhibition. Okay, on to the main event and the person at the center of this spinning beautiful network that I've sort of just laid out for you there. It is my deep pleasure to introduce Nadya Kwandibens. Nadya Kwandibens is Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, from the Anamiki Wajing number 37 First Nation in Northwestern Ontario. She is an award-winning portrait and events photographer, a Canon ambassador, and has traveled extensively across Canada for over 10 years. In 2008, she founded Red Works Photography. Redworks Photography is a dynamic photography company empowering contemporary Indigenous lifestyles and cultures through photographic essays, features, and portraits. Redworks specializes in natural light portraiture and headshot sessions, plus events and concert photography. Redworks also provides image licensing, workshops, presentations, and print products. Nadya's photography has been exhibited in group and solo shows across Canada and the United States. And there's also a beautiful publication of the Red Chair sessions available for purchase at the front desk. And as a reminder, or as maybe not a reminder, but a note of interest, Nadya might sign one of these books for you after the formal portion of tonight's event, which will end in tea, coffee, and pie. So please join us for that. Over the last week or so, I've had the chance to meet Nadya and work with her on finishing up the final details of her exhibition. And I know there are many of Nadya's friends and family here with us tonight, both in the wall and here in person. And so many of you might know this about her already, but there's a small detail about Nadya that I wanted to share. In the bottom of her emails, Nadya signs off her messages with the words, "In unity and light." These words say a lot about her and her images, and they capture something alive in the Red Chair sessions too. I hope you don't mind me borrowing your words, Nadya, but in unity and light, please welcome Nadya Kwandibens.
Hello, everyone. Can we all hear me okay? So, Buju, Ani, thank you all. Thank you all for coming. I see so many familiar faces here, friends and family alike. And I'll start off by just introducing myself and where I come from, a little bit of the journey, actually, how I started the work, and I'll go into more of the series, all the different series, but this one in particular, where it comes from, where the idea came from. So my name is Makons. I'm from the Loon clan, from Animkiwajing, the 37 First Nation, which is in northwestern Ontario, an hour south of Kenora, Lake of the Woods area on Anishinaabe Aki. It's in Indigenous land on Treaty 3 territory. So I want to, I guess, just sort of like start off by saying, just sharing a little bit about my journey as a photographer, or just even an artist, just in general. I always knew I was an artist. I always knew I was always creative in some kind of way. And I always knew that sort of facet and that aspect of myself had to come out. So I started doing so many different creative things when I was a little girl. And I got into music a little bit, and then I got into film and photography, and then that's the one that really stood out for me. I'm a really shy person by nature. I like taking my time and space with different places and spaces and people. And I think that's a beautiful thing. For me, that's just my given nature. And to be that way as a photographer, it really, I think it's just something so natural for me as a photographer, and just the space, given what my art is about, that's the space that I have to take up. You have to give space and power and meaning and all those emotions that come with being Indigenous today. You have to hold those spaces for people. So to me, that's what my work is foremost. That's what it's about, is telling the truth, really. Telling the truth, and through these portraits that you see, that's a way that I can do that. And at the same time, my work as a photographer is the act of visiting with people and spending that time with people, I think is really important, because this day and age, everyone's caught up in like cell phones and the hustle and bustle and all of that. But photography for me means to be able to just slow things down and to take care of those moments and take care of those emotions that come out. I feel like a lot of people really open up to me, and I'm really thankful and grateful for that. I hold a lot of stories, as you can see in this series. So as a photographer, this is the work that I do, and I really honor that, and I make sure that people are taken care of, and I myself am also taken care of in my artistic practice. My work brings me all over the country, all over the place, and I sometimes don't get enough time, just even for myself. So these moments that I have with everyone, I think is poignant, significant, is beautiful, is powerful, is empowering. There's so much, I think, that's evident and apparent in these portraits. So just to have those moments with everyone, I think is really, that's what artists do. So I just really wanted to highlight that, because that for me is what photography and my work means. And I carry that, and I carry that like approach to life. And I think like in everything that I do, so just to be able to honor that and have it show through my work is I think just something so natural. So I mentioned being holding all these stories, and it's true. There's days and weeks sometimes where I can't, like I need time to process. I need time to really take in what it all means. I've always been the type of person to really just spend time with myself and really think about what it all means. Why are we here? What's going on? Where are we? Like the history of everything. For me, it all just sort of blends into one whole experience. And this is my life. This is my life as an artist. So I'm really, oh my God, when we were installing the show, it was really, it was a really beautiful week with everyone here at the gallery installing the show. I didn't quite know how to like where everything was going to be placed, or like how it was all going to flow. If you start from that corner and go all the way around, you'll see it starts from winter and then it goes backwards. So you end up with spring at the very entrance there. So maybe you'll go around again and see the theme. And there's different, oh my God, there's so many different so many different portraits here. So I started the series back in, the initial idea for it came in 2015. I remember I was visiting my sister in Okanagan. Was it the Okanagan? Yeah. And I was there for a pit stop. I was traveling, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do, I had this idea in my head to do a self-portrait, and my niece actually photographed it. And I had this just like image in my head of a red chair, and that would be interesting to see a red chair in the middle of the water somewhere in the Okanagan Valley. What is this? What does it mean? And then we ended up photographing it, and it was such a beautiful portrait. It would be weird for myself to be in the show, and I actually lost the originals, the original shot. I don't know where it is, somewhere in the archives. But we photographed it, and immediately people were just really drawn to it, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm onto something. I don't know what it means. And it wasn't until 2017, I believe. When was Canada 150? Yep, yeah, I remember that. When was it? I remember that. Yeah, around that time, right? All the artists were like, okay, it's Canada 150. What are we gonna do? We're gonna celebrate all of this, and I'm like, no. As an Indigenous artist, you can't jump on like a parade like that and celebrate colonial history and all of the, what the Canadian state, has done to our people, or the monarchy, right? So I was very adamant about, I made it clear that I wasn't on that parade, and then that's where it all just came out. Like I started, well, what if I launched this series now? Like I didn't even know what the red chair meant at that time. What if I launch it now? What does that mean? What does the red chair even mean? And then I started thinking about it. Over time, since the series has been launched, for me, the red chair represents Indigenous, our ancestors, and that direct bloodline, that direct connection to the earth. That's what that means, how much blood has been, and where we still are, where we still come from, right? So to me, that's what the red chair represents and what it means to me. But then when you actually like sit in it, like you're just so, like it feels really grounding to just, knowing or having in mind what the red chair means, like, and just sitting there. For me, it's really empowering right from that initial idea, from that self-portrait. So I carried that idea for a long time, and I always, there's always a space and time for everything, and I hold on to a lot of ideas, and I you still have to work through it. You still have to do, a lot of work towards ideas that have a, there's so much that's involved with it. So 2017 to 2022, my last red chair session was actually with two beautiful women who are here as well. I want to give a shout out to Bev and her mom Sarah, who are here. We did a beautiful session. Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And we had, I was laughing yesterday because it started off really cloudy, and then I was like, no, come on. And then it ended up being like the clouds parted, and yeah, it was ended up being a really beautiful day. So I was like, oh, look at Nana Bougie, you look so handsome. Yeah, it worked out really beautifully. So I want to thank you, Miigwech, for your time, and I'm happy that you're a part of this series. So there's a lot here. There's 32 portraits, soon to be 33, in this series. So there's a lot of interest in the series overall. Like I think it's just you don't know as an artist what ideas will catch on or where it'll take you. And as an improvisational based artist, it's interesting where things go, and I'm up for it because my work is about empowering our people, and taking that space and sharing and showing how beautiful we are. Look at sometimes I get people asking me which is your favorite portrait, and I'm like, I can't. I really can't. There's just all these moments with people, and I just really love how it's come together. I really do. And a lot of those pictures are, they've become really great friends, or have been friends. And then there's a lot of family here as well. My beautiful auntie is also here. We photographed that in her backyard. Yeah. My beautiful friend Wawite. I want to do more sessions where there's more two-spirit people. I myself am two-spirit, so just to be include more of that community there, I think would be really beautiful. My friend Adrian is also here. There's so many. There's Ryan, as Penelope pointed out. Ryan was one of the first people I photographed. So, hey, shout out, Ryan. Yeah, there's so many. My beautiful sister is also here. My dad is over there. Yeah, he's right there too. Yeah, so I just and then the other thing too that's been really fulfilling for me is because I'm a real nerd. And I like researching as much as I know about Indigenous, what happened and the history and all that. Learning about the different territories and how to actually say that the name in their actual language and how to write it out. There's some syllabics as well in the show. So if you go in and really look at the image captions, you'll see all that. It's all there. And as a photographer and an artist and just being a nerd, I always make sure I want to get everything right. And you have to do that. If you're telling these stories and holding these stories, it's important to get it right. So I fully nerded out and researched all of these different areas and in the language as well. So, and people, they can share as much as they want. I'm not, no, you have to do this or that. People can share as much as they want in the series. So for me, it's an honoring. This series for me means honoring that connection to the land. Language is informed by the land, it's derived from the land. There's so many intricacies to it, and cosmologies and philosophies and worldviews, all of that. So I'm really proud of this series, and so thankful for all of the moments that I've had with everyone. And there's going to be more. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out, and I'll be here. If anyone has any questions afterwards. Apichiko miigwech. If anyone has any questions, you're welcome to. Yes. Where did you get all your red chairs from? It's a lot of them were I found some of them actually they messaged me prior and they like, oh, I have this beautiful red chair. I want to be part of the series. And then I'll be okay. Yeah. There's so many different chairs and it's really fun to, drag all these chairs like in the middle of the bush, in the forest, out into like, by the water, different like intersections on the beach, like alleyways. Like it's just really, it's really interesting how all these chairs, where are these chairs now? Like a collection of chairs. But yeah, like see, Kate, see this one for example, the woman in the water, and you see she's looking off that way. Yeah, that chair we got from a hotel lobby. Yeah. Yeah, this one here, my friend Jeremy and his beautiful son, they found that on like some Kijiji site in Calgary. Yeah. My auntie's chair, I think you guys painted that, eh? Yeah. Oh, and the chair here is also painted too. So, like it's, you can find like these chairs. Yeah. It's interesting the different vibe they all have, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they just come from wherever. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nadya. So I've seen, this is amazing. This whole showing is amazing. And I've seen so many of the behind the scenes shoots. And I know that your shoots are so full of laughter and stories and all of the outtakes. Do you write down those stories to share later? Or do you write, like, do you have, like, I know you have all of the outtakes and all of the like, process of making them. And I feel like that would be such a powerful like journey to share.
Yeah, it is always so funny. Cause it is like really weird, like hauling a chair. Like, and it's really interesting too, like how sometimes people will be like, cause sometimes people are dressed in like full on regalia, right? And it's interesting like how, like if it's in like a full city, like how little is like noticed of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that says. Yeah, it's really interesting. But all of the behind the scenes stuff is, I've been keeping a log of everything. And I want to add like a different aspect of this exhibition where it's going to tour, but add all of those behind the scenes videos because I'm a nerd and I keep track of everything and it's all archived. So I'm sitting on all these videos. So to add that, to bring it to life and all the behind the scenes stuff, I think would be really fun. Because there really is so much laughter. Yeah, you hear me like cackling in the background. Yeah, it's fun, it really is. Because when will that ever happen again, right? Yeah, to have all these moments with all these people. If you want to check out some of it, it's on most of it is on, actually all of it is on my Instagram. So yeah, it's all there. Yeah, it'll be like a different part of the whole installation, I think, in the future. Mm-hmm.
Why 32 soon to be 33 portraits? Why 32 soon to be 33 portraits?
Why 2?
32. You mentioned you have 32 portraits, right? Soon to be
Oh.
33. Why?
Well, there's no real like reasoning behind that. Being improvisational based, it's an open call format and it's still open. I think a lot of my work is like that as a photographer. It's gonna just keep building and building until I can't pick up the camera anymore. So, Yeah, when I can't physically work anymore, or my eyes start going or something, this series is gonna keep on growing, and eventually, I think I want everything to be in a book, like a good, solid book of my work. Some time down the road, yeah. So there's no specific reasoning or meaning behind 32. That's just where we're at. It's gonna be 33 soon. Yeah.
What inspired you to follow through on a long-term project?
Sorry. Oh my God, the acoustics.
Oh, sorry. What inspired you to follow through on a long-term project like this?
What inspires me?
Yeah, to pick up a long-term project. Because I'm guessing you're going to work on this for many years.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That goes to say that Indigenous people have always been here, and we will always be here. So I think that's the nice, good short answer to that. And I will always be an Indigenous artist, so I want to keep telling our stories and, holding true to that. So our realities is, yeah.
How did you pick the positions for each of the people in the portraits?
I didn't. I didn't pick, I never direct anyone, like I said. It's really interesting how people, some stand beside or some stand in front. Some people just really own the chair, right? It's so beautiful. Look at this one. Oh my God, a little boy just standing there, and his dad just all proud. Yeah. So I never really, I don't direct people in what in how they to me it would be how are you gonna be? Yeah. I guess that's a really philosophical way to answer that. Yeah, but it really is true. It's really interesting how the different items that are placed on the chair too, my favorite, or no, I'm not saying favorites. One of the ones over here with Autumn Pelche with the parliament in the background, her mother decided that it would be, meaningful for her to place her copper vessel on the chair. So when we think about what the red chair means, and placing that copper vessel there, I think is really a beautiful and powerful statement.
Approximately how many shots would you take of one person? 10, 15?
It only takes 10 minutes, and usually it's a good, 10 shots, and 10, 15 shots. Ish. Yeah, and I'll pick out what I think is the best one from there.
The pictures that you take them from a slide, and you know what I'm saying? The old way of taking photography was you have negatives and you go to slides, you put them in, and I guess the question would be the picture. And then the final, how do you crop your image?
That's a really interesting question, because when I first started, I thought I wanted all of the photos to be portrait mode, tall, verticals. But then as it went on, and I wanted more emphasis to be placed on the actual lens. So when you widen out the shot, there's more emphasis that's placed on the actual space, right? So when I go and choose, and it depends on the situation where I am, I'll decide which orientation is the best to shoot in. And then it's not too much done after that. Yeah. because I love red, sometimes I'll go in and I'll boost the red color, but really not too much. And I'll do just a little retouching, but nothing too crazy. So what you see is what I saw.
As natural as possible.
Yep.
Did you have to travel far to get your shot, like with your model? Like load up the chair, let's go down the road, up that hill?
How arduous was the carrying the red chair? No, there's a lot of help. I mean, like, I look like a small girl, but I'm pretty tough, so I can, take that on. But there's always help. I always get just for behind the scenes stuff. I always get people who are being photographed. I don't like saying subjects or models because that's really, to me, paternalistic. So I always say for anyone who's being photographed or who wants to participate in the series, like ask them if they have a friend or a cousin or auntie that can come join and get some of the behind the scenes stuff. So, and oftentimes they help as well.
They're closer to their names or their environment. Like some of them are different tribes, so that they're closer to their environment.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does work out like that. But like,
She's a TSW or a child care worker there, like, photo journalism. Did you emphasize any of that into some of the aspects of who they are? Asking a lawyer maybe? See, some of them I don't know, so yes, some of them might be what they do in life.
mm-hmm.
Some are leaders, some are.
A good example would actually be this far one. That's actually the only indoor portrait here. That was actually taken at the Winnipeg Art Gallery, and she was working there at the time, and she's very immersed in the arts community. So that portrait for her was really meaningful. But she's actually Chilcotin from out west coast native. So. Yeah, and she shared her nation there too. So if you go and look at all the captions, you'll see how different, sometimes how different it can be, like where they're actually from and then where the photo was actually taken. Yeah.
Do you know everybody in the photos? Like, are they all known to you, or were some of them strangers prior to the picture?
That's actually a good question.
They're your friends now.
I always say this when it comes to my work in the different networks and everything. I always say there's only 1 degree of separation in the Indigenous community. So there's always someone who knows someone who knows someone, or they're like cousins, distant, or like, you know what I mean, someone's auntie or something. I am actually connected to each of these people photographed. Tanya actually became a friend. You'll see her portrait, it's the one on the far end. She became a friend much later on, so I didn't know her, but there was a friend who knew her, you know what I mean? Like, it was just all, the network is just all really connected, so I know each and every one of these people. Yeah. Well, family, of course. Yeah. I don't know. I've always said like timing is everything, and I think I really hit on. Oh no, that's a strong word. My timing has always been really good. Even if it's cloudy days, sometimes it'll just like work out. Sometimes if it's too cloudy or rainy, like it really just, all of these sessions just worked out. I haven't hit it, oh geez, knock on wood. I haven't hit a cloudy day or some day where a session hasn't been able to take place. So, but in general, if I would like actually have to shoot, there would be definitely some fix or help in post editing. So, but for the most part, yeah, it's just.
That woman's face is in the shadow.
Here? Oh. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, how the images, how they are is how I saw it, and that's what it is. I guess that's what makes me an artist.
So thank you, Nadya. Another huge round of applause for our artist, Nadya Kwandibens. So that concludes the formal artist talk portion of the evening. I invite everyone here to go out that way towards the coffee, tea, and pie. There is cherry pie, a red cherry pie, and blueberry pie, and also Nadya's Red Chair Sessions publication out there as well. Thank you, all of you, each and every one, for coming tonight. Thank you very much.